Okay, so I'm going to introduce you. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you to a basic literacy of Word. Now, there's a few different groups. To kind of consider yourself a pilot, all right? We're going to do either or, but it doesn't have to be one thing, okay? This is kind of like scalar, right? Think about it. So, also going to be drinking when I'm talking to you because I want my nutrition. This stuff's delicious. It has no sugar. And it's very good. And no bad ingredients. Okay. So, I'm going to introduce you to Microsoft Word. First thing to think about is, one, do you pay or get it free? Okay, I'm also going to take you through the functions of Microsoft Word. Now, if you pay, you get what? You get things might be a little bit slow because I'm on the computer. I'll just do simple tasks because I'm on the computer with you. Okay, so if you pay, you get the app and extended functionality, all right? Extended functionality is you, okay? The app is an extended functionality of you. You can do more, okay? You can use more tools, you can learn better, it's really easy. If you get it free, there are some limits, possible limits, which they might remove or might have removed to an extent. So it's something like you can use basic function, but often more than you need, more than non-document expert needs, okay? So, there's a documentation expert like myself spell documentation wrong. Yes, that's a keyboarding issue. I need a better keyboard now. I haven't been doing any documentation anymore, so just kind of for myself what I need, and I'm getting off my own life instead of being a documentation person. However, I will leave this behind for you, so you can do these things if you want to. Okay, so those are two things to consider. I'm using the free version because I don't need, the extended functionality of the app version, which is preferred and amazing, of course, but not necessary for me. And so Microsoft has been very generous in giving those things away for free. Where do they give it away for free? Gmail. You can also get it from Microsoft. Okay. There you go. Microsoft. Give that a capital. Okay. Now, next thing is we're going to do the free version. Okay. Next thing is layout. Okay, let's go with layout. Oh no! Wait. About you and Microsoft Word. You kind of got to decide the limit of what you need and do the things that you're going to need to do. Okay, so I was going to make a basic video about one thing, but I decided just to kind of give it to you because things have been updated. I'm going to cover some of the old functionality stuff, and then you can, learn from the new function stuff too if you need to do it. New stuff's going to be AI, so people won't need to do it as much. But this stuff's better than AI is going to give you if you want to do your own work, okay? Because your comma can be better than a PhD comma, full stop. However, on average, comma, you're going to need to adjust to your audience, which means at best you probably need AI doing your punctuation. And don't care about the PhD standard. Unless you're doing a writing degree or a degree that requires comma experiences, like you know how to comma, don't worry about it. And although those who love commas would disagree to an extent, you're not really going to get a comma without an expert in writing in some field. Okay? And that's it. You have to use a style guide and stuff like that. And that's documentation writing thing. It's not getting that way up to PhD in many ways. All right? You go to university, textbooks are flawed. You always will be. Just enjoy your life. Okay. All right, next. Space age was not. Oh yeah, space age. Okay, space age. Space age was not spell check proficient in the comma. Okay, Bill Gates can't do it. I can't do it. You can't do it. But you can do a perfect comma as long as you can agree. So as long as we agree that we understand not only your comma but how to use the context of what you're doing and saying or writing, then we can match and achieve the task. Okay. So a lot of this is really about communication, resource transfer. Someone's like, based on a comma, what? It's not the comma thing anymore. So it's going to be a social agreement. But a documentation expert's like, what? I need a comma because it's not right. And it's like, yeah, but read somebody else's work at a PhD level and be like, they're not right, and they conclude they don't know what they're writing. But it doesn't mean they're not a subject matter expert. It means when they write it down, that's not what it means. So, okay, I'm just going to be okay with that interpretation. Okay, so space age was not proficient in the comma. What camp are you going to be in? You're going to be like, okay, on average, comma use is okay, as long as the results are satisfactory. Okay, so when you do things about anything in your document editor, as long as it's satisfactory, it's okay. It's passable, it's okay. Now, somebody else has to work with that, and it might be like, that is not okay to get those results. Okay? So, why is that? And it was like, well, I'll start a new section here and be like, section 3, and then be like, yeah, no one needs to inspect a document when I am done. Problem is, these things are there. Whether you remember them, oops, I didn't have to do that. Remember that thing? Okay, it's not there. It's going to go into some sort of automated program where it just adjusts to what you needed it, what you told it to do. And it's like, whoa, what? What do you mean that thing's there or something's there? You did something. Yeah, I was just like thinking about something and I just hit a button and I didn't pay attention. And I'm like, I don't know how to get my document to work for me. I'm trying to like tell it what to do, but it's not doing things that I need. So I'm like, what? Where did everything go, right? And so here you go like, I'm doing this thing, right? Nothing happened. Well, I was hitting a button, what happens, right? I don't see it there, I don't understand. Why are things not lining up the way I need them to? I'm trying to do things about me. So the reason is just that there's stuff there whether you see it or not, okay? And sometimes you need to inspect your document to be like, yeah, I got it organized. Because, for example, if you insert something like a table of contents and you're not getting results that you need, it can be as obvious as, well, do you have headings? What if there are no headings and you don't know what that means? What if we just like don't show the ribbon, right? Or like don't do things about it. Let's see here. Oh, wait a second. Where's that ribbon thing? I don't use this much anymore. But the point was this stuff is hideable. Okay, let's go with let's not do shortcuts. Okay, shortcuts to document editor. Shortcuts to hide ribbon in MS Word. Okay, so you should learn your shortcuts. So this gets us to shortcuts. Shortcuts. Let's call this need to edit. Need to inspect and edit your document. We'll call it in layers. Well, I don't know. If you want to call it layers, layers is something else, right? So let's call that a heading. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, shortcuts. Next is shortcuts, right? So shortcuts. So if you're working with a very long document, you're going to want to take shortcuts, right? The reason why is that you don't need 1,000 pages or 100 pages or 20 pages or honestly 5 pages, okay? of free. So you just hide 5 pages of free. You don't need 5 pages of inspect. Just, if you needed to link this to anything, you could make a table of contents, for example, and link different parts of the document. If you want to go one place and go to the other place. So setting it up is kind of cool, right? You get to do things that you don't have to have something that takes more time. You can just do it quickly. It's like having an external link, but it's an internal link to the document. You can also make it an external link if you want to. Okay, so the main shortcut, the hide or show the ribbon in MS Word, Control F1. Okay, cool. So I haven't been using this in a while. Control F1, and there you go. It's gone. Okay, just like that, easy with one hand. All right, there you go. So Control F1. Where is the short abbreviation for control? I do not know right now. I've not been doing these things in a while, so yay! Okay. But learn what this is, because no one else is going to do that, and it's kind of easy. Just keep learning your tools. You had to have an addiction to Microsoft Word when you were a kid. Hey, I had that weird addiction when I'm just doing Microsoft Word stuff. Before Microsoft Word, when it was early document editors or something. Notepad, discovery of Notepad is, that was the new program in town. No, it's not. I'm like, yes, it's updated. They pretend it's the old Notepad, but it's not. Okay. It pretends. Does Notepad pretend, right? And then it's like, who knows that story where Notepad pretended to do something? Me. Okay, so here's some shortcuts. Let's get rid of that section. It'll drop down if you need to make another one, right? So make your next section first. It's just for once you're done. So once you're done working, then you can expand or control it the way you want it to. Right? Expand or contract it. Okay, next. So you got your shortcuts. You've also got different functions. Let's start with what's those? What is that reference? Okay, let's go with the reference. You got to put on the reference list. You're doing your first degree or something. Let's go with a line center. Okay, so you put your references based on your style guide, right? See your style guide. Maybe like APA. Or MLA. If you're taking time on document editors, you might be in those styles. Or you might be like, no, I'm in the solid Chicago, and I want to know what this is. Chicago. Chicago. There you go. Just so not left out, Chicago. I didn't really hang out with you, but you're cool. You're always going to be richer than me, right? Okay. How much better do you earn based on your style? That's an interesting question. It's always the same, actually. You could just keep adjusting things and use your tools for you. So it's one of those, should I take a Chicago style or an APA style or an MLA style degree? So anyway, interesting to ask those questions. But ultimately, it's about how they communicate and what they know each other. Okay, next is, okay, so clearly, that is not going back, you see. Okay, so what happened is this is off, right? I'm like, I want to do the next line, but it's not going back. What is going on, right? And someone's like, well, you gotta do this thing, and you gotta go left alignment, so you go back to where you were. Like, hey, that makes no sense, right? The reason why is, well, it wasn't much more than you had to tell that where to go. Somebody else got really upset and had to be like, where is the ruler on this thing? So that made it really easy to find a ruler now. But it was like, okay, so when I do it that way, I want to, do whatever I'm doing here, but I need that to go back. How do I do that? And I'm like, okay, can I use the ruler to do this? And I'm like, okay, that's not quite working. That's not quite working out the way I wanted it to, right? So I move that back. And then it doesn't really go back. There you go. But it's not exactly flush with the other one. And then it goes back to where it was at the start. Okay. So I don't really get more out of it. See? You're like, but why? Well, it's actually this thing that's happening. And so it's there, it's not there. Why isn't it aligning the way I meant it to? Why isn't it flush with that? Okay. Oops. Okay. So, the real answer was something as easy as, let's see, let's go with the reference. Okay, so you got your references, right? So you put your references based on your style guide, right? And so it's there, it's not there. Why isn't it flush with that? Okay, oops. Okay, so the real answer was something as easy as, let's see, let's go with the reference. Okay, so you can just like align it without having to declare it or delete it. You can just be like, here you go. Then do it here with that one. Okay. Okay, dokie. And if you move it back, you can see some things are just going to be the same. What is that? Okay, that's going back. So, and you can see there's two of them. Okay, so like if you don't see that, but you did it by accident and you don't know what's there, that can be really difficult to work with. Alright, but it's really easy. Like, okay, what? Show me what is there. Show me the magic. Cool button. Okay. Next, let's get rid of the ruler, of course, and all set. So, another thing you want to learn about is, let's call that alignment. And, oops, that's an N. We're going to call that center alignment, okay, or Control E. You can also hover, Control E, you see, Control E. Okay, hover, hover, hover. Just hover. And then alignment. So we're going to go call that a heading. Your center, Control E. Alright, and then we're going to go here. Try to keep it flush, because if I just do this now, but then I put that, then that's still there. Okay, so just like, you know, try to keep it clean while you're working, and you don't make those mistakes so you don't have to go back. So when you do that, align now, and then go down, and then you have a really clean system, okay? If you do anything else, you're not getting confused about that, but here you go, and there you go. Okay, so this alignment is, whoa, there we go, okay. Next is left alignment. What is left? What is left? This is left alignment, okay? That is, so that's, like for example, right, left. This side or that side. Okay, what is right? Okay, not the same as what is truth, just what is right. And then you go to right alignments, okay? So super simple, and you can see that that's all that really is, okay? All right, and then bullets, as follows. Is I am super MS Word from 10 plus years ago. Yes, years ago. Keyboarding is an issue if you have a bad keyboard because you'll start to type around. And then you can just put however many you want there, 1, 2, or more, yep, whatever you like. Okay, if you hit it like that, yep, press enter, and see a new bullet appear. Yay! Let's see, enter, for example. Oh, and then press enter. After a new bullet appears, and then it disappears. And then it's like, oops, I made an economic decision that using spell check is easier than spelling it right. What you either need at that point is a new keyboard, okay? Or you need to use spell check because you're not going to get a new keyboard. You also can take typing classes for free and many websites, that kind of thing, okay? Once you get a new keyboard. You can also use different tools to autocorrect things, but anyway. Sometimes it also, it's a matter of dictionary, so you can code something, like use a program to decide which language system of English that is read or not read. So for example, I might use British spelling, but I have to be like, oops, I need North American spelling. Okay, bullets. Okay, next is a list. So list. A list is like alignment, but it'll do the same thing as bullets and align like a bullet, but you can change the alignment the way you want. So I can be like, I like numbers, give me a third number by pressing enter, and There you go. Okay. Alright. Now, look, if I just press tab here, for example, that will change. I could also set it to be the same as that, or another symbol. However, that's a deeper function, okay? You want it again, it goes further, it becomes a Roman numeral. Cool. So all sorts of things. This just means it's a below one, but not its own number, okay? Below the bullet, but not its own bullet, except it's about this bullet, a subsection, as you were. So, alright. Making mistakes. If you use Control Z, you undo something. If you use Control R, Control right, no, that. Control E would be left, no, Control, yeah, okay. Control L, left alignment. L is for left, R is for right. Cool. So Control, what was that one? Control R? No, that's right. Okay, so there was changes over the years. I was still like, oops, that's not that. So that was forever ago. Okay, let's go with undo and redo, repeat, Control Y compared to Control Z. Okay, so we go Control Z, what disappears, Control Z, and there it goes. Okay, undoing stuff that I was doing. Control Y, let's redo this. This is a calculator function. I just said, would you use R or Y, what were you doing lately, and it will change or not change. Okay. Okay. Next, for example, let's go Control Z. Let's see how much we can do. How much can I do? It's all good. It's all good. Okay, up to bullets. I can undo it up to bullets, but then it stops. It only saves a little bit of memory, and it doesn't in real life if you just hold it down because you have a sticky key. Okay, and that was it. And that's all I got back. Okay, so when I use Control Y, Okay, so next thing is style. So I want this to be style heading 1, and then I want to make that, for example, style heading 2, which is like a subheading, basically. 1 is top, 2 is below, 3 is below, and then etc. So they become sections or subsections of each other. For example, assuming that the shortcut for this is what? Control-Alt-2, okay, Control-Alt-2. Control-Alt-2, and then I'm going to make different results of different headings. Control-Alt-2, Control-Alt-2, okay, and then, I didn't get rid of this back. Okay, list. Control-Alt-2, 1 is for fun, 2 is better, is hardworking. That makes no sense, but okay. So you can expand or contract it. You can expand it or contract it. Expand it or contract it. So let's say expand, that's contract, okay. Contract is just pull it back together, right? And expand is to open it up, but it's visual spatial, so you can actually use your memory based on what that means to you to be like, well, relative to something else, I could argue that is true or false. You do what you want to. So left, expand or contract, right? So I'm going to contract it all, and then look at that. That's all part of that. And then right, I need that contracted, okay. And then alignment. Contracted under alignment. Open it up, close it up, open it up, list. But do I have to? Okay, Control-Alt-3, subheading 3. Contracted under list, under alignment, opened up under list, closed under alignment, and then reopened under alignment the way it was before, the way you left it. So there's a certain amount of the way you left it that's involved with the way Microsoft coded or did things, because the way you left it is kind of the way they left it for you. They assume that you're a user knowing what you're doing, rather than I didn't know what I was doing. Just so for functional purposes, if I know what I'm doing, then I can do these things. Okay, and that's my, assumption, basically. Okay, so next is if you open it up, okay, and you have to create a new kind of chain of thought. So new chain of thought. That is no longer IT stuff, of course. I don't really know that. They don't know what that means. I'm like, well, I can say chain of thought if I want to. Thought. THOUGHT, question mark. Okay. But then I gotta close up the list, and that chain of thought is still into the list. So let's take a look here. Let's open up a new section to be like, I can open up a new section by either going Control-Alt-1, okay, new chain of thought, new section via heading, or new chain of thought. I'll do that one after, actually. Okay, new section via heading would just be like that. So if you close up the list, you can close up the alignment, and you still have something you can do to write without it being like you're in the same section. You got to get out of your section, right? So how do I get out of the section? Because if I want to start something in my new wonderful project, but it's a new one, not the old one. Why is it disappearing? So you can go here, you can insert, you can look at your page break, of course, but that won't do it for you. And then it's gone. Page is gone. Where did that page go? Okay. So, you gotta find another thing, because if you look at it, you're like, I got a page break there, and it's disappearing. Because it's like, yeah, sure you have a page break, but what you need is a section break. So I don't see a section break readily available. Maybe it's one of those things. This is not the app. What are we without the app, right? Shortcuts to section break. So if I didn't know the app, I wouldn't know there's a section break. Maybe. Or I had to find out where to get it. So to insert a section break in Microsoft Word, Alt N B then N. Okay. Alt N B N. Also use section break is easy enough, I guess. I'll give it a try. But then it was like N B then N. Okay, so Alt N B N. Alt N B N. Okay, Alt N B N. Enter. No. Nothing happened. Okay. Alt N then B then N. I'm going to go PBN, see if that helps. Make sure it's a section. Section, okay. PBN, that's a weird combo. PBN. No, I don't see that. I don't see that's a thing that's happening for me. Okay. There's a column break, but I need it. What I need is the. Okay, try the layout tab. Wait a second. Layout. Isn't it layout? Layout. That's what. I gotta find where it is. Under the break section. Cool. Okay. That's a page break. That's a column break. Aw, I don't get a section break with that. Feels like pay me money. I'm assuming Bill Gates was the guy in Microsoft. I'm probably like. My knowledge is outdated to like 20-something years ago. I have no idea what's going on with Bill Gates these days. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not getting more than a column or a page break from these people. So maybe there's like a place where I can insert it. That is super not convenient. But there's a slow method. You could use the headers. Manual section break. Let's go manual. I might have to I might have to be some sort of like organizational tool to like include that in what's there. Layout breaks, that's not in there, that's the problem. Okay, I have to like, how do I include the app? The app is like, what a relief! What a relief! It's all there, it's me. I just have to pay a few dollars and I get better stuff and can work, not waste hours. Hours. Okay, how do I include use of section break in the free online version of MS Word? And then you might have your own, stuff for the backend, or whatever the backend is to be like, yeah, where are the drop-down menus for that? You must use the Word desktop app. Okay, so you got me. I can't really help you with that. Pay for the app. Or use the themes. Wait. Oh, wait. Okay. Okay. Pay for the app. Or use the home styles theme. Okay. Styles and actually it should be like styles and themes basically because these are themes, but it's something like these are styles. Like styles is kind of like the way your words look and things like that, or how you organize and arrange things. But it's something like style is unique because like one company says they want one style, another company wants another style. Okay, but the thing is, it's like you got to keep styles consistent. You need to understand themes and styles. Okay, so here's your styles: title, emphasis, endnote references, and that kind of thing. And here's some things you need to learn how to use. Okay. Okay. Now, you don't need to be this specific. I want to show you what is the difference between styles and themes. If you're watching this, you probably don't need to know this because unless you're just learning it for the first time, you're like, I could just take this time just to figure that out with someone. But honestly, unless you're going to be a document editor, you probably don't need to go further. So styles are specific formatting rules, font, color for a heading, while themes are a broader set of design choices, color, fonts, effects apply to entire document or an app. Sure. If you say so. It's consistent theme, so it's consistent. The styles used across different themes. Look, this is the same. You can see the shortcuts is the same as the limits. Okay. And it's not much more than that. So, okay. For example, how would you? What's one way you could know that? And then that's a difficult way to do that. But you're not using an app, so you're not going to use something special like a special tool to move things where you want to. Like inserting a page or something like that, or a page break, for example. For example, this would be insert page break. And then I get this page, insert that, and then that number will automatically check off back to 1. I need a section break there, please, but oh well. And next is, it gets really difficult to work with other tools, but this is fairly okay. This is like, I'll get what I need done. So here I'm going to insert to the table of contents. Let's take a look. Where is the TOC insert that I saw there? Yay! Okay, everything we're doing about those themes are there. So it's like super cool. If I go there, let's go with center here, and then I'm like, link it to whatever you've got here. So free is there. Where? I haven't done this in a while. They automated it maybe in one place and not in the other place. I'm like, what? Okay. I like the manual way anyway. I gotta be like, okay, what I gotta do here to make sure that links. Page numbers. I don't need any of that. Okay. First, I think I need to get out of that Okay, you're gonna have to refresh it if you make changes. Okay, it'll refresh automatically if you make changes, but you have to like click on it to refresh it here. Okay, so you got a manual refresh. And let's get out of the box, back into there. Okay, so supposing you want to go there and you're gonna make a PDF. So I'm gonna be like, let's export this to a PDF, and then download, and then there you go. I got your document finished. Got a cool PDF. So cool. So I can be like, I want to go to page 2, but when I click on it, it doesn't go anywhere. So I gotta go find page 2, right? These headings don't open and close anymore because the document's completed, no longer in the editor, right? So you're like, okay, I want to go to shortcuts. So where do I go? And then it's like, okay, I'm going to need to download this. Let's download this document editor and open it up with. No, wait, no. It's not the download thing. So I'm like downloading it and be like, this is going to go into the same place. So the other things that I got one there. Okay, so you see how that went to 1. It's saved automatically at the same document name, the 1 included. Right, okay, so next thing I got to do is understand first this doesn't link. It links, good. Okay, good, it links now, good. And then it's like giving me limited options. So I'm like, okay, I need a PDF viewer. I need a free PDF viewer. If you're not paying for it, then get it free. But if you need to do work and you're going to get paid for that work, then pay Adobe. I'll go PDF Suites. There's a lot of free. Wait, WPS. Yes. It's a knockoff Chinese version, which is really good. They pretend to be not the same thing. Free download. WPS, good. There we go. Let's allow it. The computer's not like rock hard security science. I'm just gonna go with that for right now. It'll scan it. That's good. Okay. It gets past my scanners anyway, and then now I open it. Under that. Oh, Japanese this time. Japanese advertisements. Maybe they have Japanese associations or something. When I was first discovering this before like 2017ish, I was like, they were like the free. People were like, stop paying for stuff, just get it for free. Because I was working overseas in China, and so people were like, just get it for free. So that's how I learned about it. My friend was like, I can get anything that you get in the West for free. Just tell me. I'm an IT guy. I can just like get it all for free. Microsoft, all those versions, all that. That's all free. I got all that. And so you know, there's a lot of free things in China. You know, I haven't seen him in forever. I don't even know his contacts or anything like that. But he was kind of a cool guy. That was really nice of him to show me that, because when I was younger, everyone was like, you know, piracy and software stuff, and I was thinking like, you know, actually, no, it's actually just free, because the old-fashioned stuff was just free. You could download it or use it in some way, and they weren't really protecting it. It was more like an honor code that people would pay for it and stuff. But the problem was, when you go to a country where no one cares about the expenditure of Google or Microsoft, that kind of thing, they want free stuff. You know, I think that'll probably lead to them accepting Google one day. But anyway, lots of free stuff. So anyway, this stuff was probably, you know, a knockoff originally of Microsoft Word, but they would say, no, it's not. You know, as if you found their company. It was like, that was a knockoff. That's not. It just looks the same to you. I made rational assumptions about why things were placed that way and why those tools were called those things. Okay. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go to the next thing here. So that should be like going directly to. Maybe I can use a view. I could possibly use the view thing here, and then I can just show you downloading that is helpful to you. They're probably like a legitimate business now, so they probably defend themselves as if you accuse them of a knockoff. But I'm like, they were a knockoff as if I had to get a version of Microsoft that I could understand. Like if I needed something to similar, like the same thing as what I would know as a document editor, I'd be like, what? WPS is as close as I'm gonna get. Separate pages, reading view. Let's go reading view. And then it'll be like a simulation as if somebody was reading it. And then, yeah, it works. So links are clickable. I click on 3, it goes to 3. Okay? And then that one I'll consider done. It's still downloading. I'm like, I don't want it anymore. How do I stop you? I don't. Okay, I'll do the next thing. Okay, so when you send your PDF, now it's functional. Your TOC is automatically giving you all your linkage, so you can go places with it. You click on it, you get to go where you want to go. Okay, so we're going to go and I'm also going to edit this heading here. Oh wait, I'm in view mode. Okay, so open in desktop is no, it'll cost money. I'm going to try X, escape. No. I think somebody asked me for my advice for how to do something a long time ago, and I was like, really? And then it was actually so easy, they didn't really need help. They just needed to kind of like organize those resources. So a lot of this learning with this kind of stuff, I would say, as if I knew me in the past for the people, I would say learning how to use a word is something like doing this with other people a little bit, aligning, like you're trying to align with the tools with someone to be like, this is how to use the tool, and then just doing it yourself and exploring and do whatever you think of or feel like. But sometimes you can't do it by yourself. You do need a little push. Either you search on Google or you do something like talk to somebody to figure it out. Okay. I don't have permission to do any of this document. How do I be view mode? You know, it might not be more complicated than ask the question and, oh, there we go. Okay, I don't need WPS anymore. WPS, thank you. But you know, they did a good one. Let's see docs here. You can see I'm kind of W there. Let's go for the blank document. It won't compete with Microsoft Processor, okay? But you know, they look like the free version, the online version, from that perspective. And so you know, I haven't used this one in forever, so I don't really know it. Okay, so I gotta be like Google. How do I? How do I get out of view mode? Of a view mode in MS Word for Real Reader Viewpoint. I'm not sure what they call it again. View mode is called what? What mode am I in? Microsoft. They make it really hard to see it. It's probably right in front of my face. Like, just click it. Just click it. Like, I don't know where it is. Okay, escape. That didn't get me out of the... That was print. Print layout. It's not print. It's read mode. Turn off open in read mode. View mode. Mode selection button in the ribbon. Mode selection button in the ribbon. So it's accessibility, and maybe that's on. I could turn it on. Is off. Is it on or is it off when you click on it? Nope, that doesn't do it. That's just putting it on. So I turn off by clicking on it, and then document it's no. So we can be like. Unless I want to go back to edit mode. I'm going to go back to the editor. Be the editor again. And then, yay, I'm back. Okay, so that's how to do that. Sometimes you have to think about it a little bit because they don't have that step for you because that's not natural. Natural is something like people knew how to use it or if they didn't, they had to think about it a bit. okay? Otherwise, it's just going to like automated it for you. You don't get to use those functions unless you pay money because you don't need them, because this is going to be more intuitive for you. So don't lose a good thing because you don't want to look it up, and you can find the best stuff to use from simple practice of using those tools more often or more carefully. Okay. Next, so we got the TOC done. I'm going to go back to the editor mode here and be like, I'm going to go TOC. Okay, table of contents. It's a useful abbreviation to know because it's kind of what's up with those abbreviations. So I'm going to insert a new heading. So new stuff. And I'm going to go like heading 1. Okay. We go tables. We need to learn about tables, and then we need to learn about styles, and we need to learn about themes over here. So I was showing you some theme stuff, which is like if you do things in a way, it'll match up and look the same, or consistency of style. Basically, I mean, based on the Google definition, it's consistency of style. So consistency of style is a theme. Well, but it's not a complete answer. I mean, you're going to find different arguments for what a theme is. And so, okay, so tables, let's do some styles, and was there anything else to do? Copy, paste, I'm sure you got that. Seems like, no, I need copy, paste. I need copy, paste links. Let's do links. And let's do old stuff, headers and footers. I'm going to do pages. I'll do page numbers with you. Page numbers, because that was like one of those things to be like, kind of like figured out for you, but there's an easy way to do it. If you're struggling with it, it's because you're doing it wrong, or you didn't learn it yet, and you need to learn it. Okay, drawings are kind of cool. I'll do some drawings with you last, okay? Okay, so we're going to put those as a secondary heading. Okay, tables. So let's insert the tables, assuming we want to do, setting up pages. Okay. I'm just going to use A here to note markedness of it, where's what, and B also to set the contrast to A, so you know where is what. Okay, sometimes you have to click on things and it's not there. Okay, I can click on that, I find it right away. I just mouse it over there, there it is, it pops up. Sometimes it's not that way because it's not the way you think, right? So supposing you're using a snipping tool, all right, and you have a copy of the table, and you're like, oh, I love this, I actually got my table done, it's so amazing. And then you're like, yeah, there you go, my table. And then you're like, but it's not like doing that thing. It might be an image. Is what you're looking at an image of a table, or is it a real table? Okay, let's log into expand or contract more. Let's see if we can layer it at all. Okay, so layer. Do I get layers? Do I get layers in MS free online version? Do I get layers and no layers? Probably no layers. It is probably good. I mean, they're tough to use. You gotta learn how to use them. They're not intuitive, but they're easy. They're easy as long as you're understanding that there are layers and things are there and not there that you see them. Layers are, and if anything goes wrong, you know how to look for layers. Okay, layers are a feature available, but not generally available in the online versions. Okay, generally speaking. Okay, for me right now, no. I'm going to assume no. Okay. So, if those were layered in any way, you were like, we're finding my stuff, okay, images or tables, okay, cool. So the table will change, but this is an image, not changing that unless you're using like technology to turn the image into a table, okay? Lexine. Okay, so next, okay, you got, when you insert it, you just go to the table under insert and you choose how many rows. this is 1 row, 2 row, 3 row, 4 row, 5 row, 6 row, 7 row, 8 row. Okay, and these are columns. 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, 4 column, 5 column, 6 column, 7 column. So down and up is column. Wait a second. Nope. Okay, I'm getting tired. I'm going to try to cut this short. I'm starting to get like, say, row and column backwards. Okay, so I need to be like, I know what I need to do. I need some nutrition. I need some refreshment. I haven't done this with people in forever. And since I did, I probably had an error there somewhere. So that's a column. That's a column. 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns, up and down. Rows side to side. These are rows, okay? So suppose you want to delete a row. Let's go to delete the row. Okay, and A is going to disappear. There's B. And then you can delete the column. B, A, B will disappear, and there'll be 4 columns there. Delete column. And that disappears, okay? So if you want to delete these ones, let's call that C. Okay. You can just click on anywhere there on that column, and you can delete it. Delete the column. Suppose you just need to delete this one here. You can delete the cell, and we're going to shift left, so that cell will be blank, but it will regenerate, and the cell will still be visible. Okay? So, because it makes a new cell when you delete it. It just means the content's gone, like an Excel chart, but the cell will remain always true because we're assuming, that we want to make a table and use a table that has, consistent boxing and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to shift up, which means this is B, B, B. B will go up, therefore A will disappear and B will take its place. Okay, and then, no, yeah. Okay, no, that's not it. I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to shift that up. So when you shift up, it goes up from down here. So down here is blank, therefore it shifts up blank. This is already blank, it regenerates as blank. Okay, so anything below it will go up. So A will go up here when I shift up. So we're going to delete a cell only, delete a cell, and then shift the cell up. A will go up where B is. Now you have BBA. You see the change, right? So let's delete this cell, which is blank. And then we're going to delete that cell, and now we're going to shift this cell's left. So this is left, which means nothing will happen, but the blank is now, that cell will regenerate as blank. And anything from this side will go over here, which will be no effect, no changes except the cell's gone. Okay? Now do that over here, but now this A will move over to A. Okay? So we're going to change that to C. Okay? We're going to delete this cell. And left, and you see C will take its place because when you delete it, all this cell will move over 1. Okay? Likewise, A and B. You delete this one, and shift left, A goes there, and B goes there. Okay? Because all cells shift left on this row. Okay, and that's kind of it. So if you're trying to do something like, I'm trying to delete V, but when I delete V, something else takes its place. So I wanted to delete it, I did the cell, and it was like something else took its place. It's B, why is B there? I lost my B. So you gotta tell what to do when you're doing things like that. Okay, so and then Control Y, okay. So next thing is you might want to change your landscape compared to the portrait. So you're looking at your layout, right? You got a orientation here. A portrait, if you change the landscape, the whole document changes, right? But if you change it to portrait, the same is true. Now the reason why is that you need a section break. You need to separate your sections. So you need a document editor, so you need a paid version or something like that. That way you can use a different section for it. Now, let's assume it's just a section. Let's change it to landscape. Okay, so landscape's changed, but then so did everything else. See? And that's it. You need a section break so you can determine which sections you want to change the orientation of each page to. So if you're working with any kind of document that you have more variation in what you need to print, you're kind of done if you don't have a section breaker. Okay. Let's see here. Let's insert a column. Actually, wait. Tabular function first. Let's assume that these. You can find these by clicking on them. You can change the styles, okay, font size and all that. You can delete or change cells. You can insert stuff, rows. You can add new rows, for example. Okay, so let's go insert. This used to be add, so insert row above. Okay, and there you go. Row goes above. And you insert row below. Now you have two rows together. Okay, and now you're going to have insert row column to the left. So left is that way. Now you're going to have a column there. Let's insert a new column to the right. There you go. All right. You can see what that does. If you play that with that a little bit, you'll learn it. Wouldn't take you much more than, like, kind of allocate 15 minutes to play with something, and then you have no ideas, keep building onto that, so you can learn, or you can take a class and just use it based on what you need. I personally think just use stuff based on what you need, except if you need to learn it for, like, it's going to be really important to your work, then you're going to need to use your tools. Okay. There's no real shortcut for that, but learning is the best route, but people kind of limit themselves, so they don't know how to use their tools. You won't really find an excellent document editor that knows how to do this stuff, except if they're like probably like working in the industry, and that's really what they do. They don't really answer your question because the point is they could do this in a way that's really easy. But people are trying to do the same. They don't know how to use their document editor. Okay, so most of it has to do with like stay healthy, stay fit, and then play with stuff that you like. If you don't like to play with document editors, you're in the right place. Okay. Next, there are also lots of different kinds of tools, but I kind of just go with Microsoft Word because I'm not doing any more document editing or anything like that. It's just like, this was a dream come true. I didn't really take it further, but they were the best. I'm trying to install that. Okay, pin that, and I'll install later. Okay, so next, styles. But I need APA. Okay, I need APA. MLA, for example. Well, I might want to go like Times New Roman, for example. Normal. I might want to go to, let's see here. Everything is easier in the app. It's just like easy like to follow the functions and do all that stuff, but there's more stuff that's here to learn more, not less. Create new style from selection. See more styles, clear formatting of selection, manage default styles. Okay, so let's change the. Okay, so you can reset the document to Word default styles. Let's check out what happens when we do that. Wait. Ah, okay. Okay. Alright, let's put a big request in. Probably had to like control A everything there for that to be true, but okay. Nope. Okay, that's a big request. Okay, this style has. Yeah, this document is okay, good. So you can see I reset the documents based on the normal themes. However, it was other normal themes. So let's go to, if we do that, let's go to change the theme. Let's make normal. Okay, let's change normal. I want Aptos, for example. I want Times New Roman. That's really typical, literary style. I don't know, MLA, APA was stuff I was using in my degree. Okay, long time ago. So you see there, it's Times New Roman. But I want it all to be that way. Okay, so I'm going to go to style here. I'm going to say match the default styles. Let's reset this to default styles. The default styles are Aptos, so it should either reset it to Aptos or change everything else to Times New Roman, but I don't really update to Times New Roman. So, okay, Now let's check this out. That's Times New Roman. That's Aptos. Okay. So let's go to manage default styles. Let's reset document to Word default styles. It's a big job, so I guess it's low. Now let's take a look. That's still Times New Roman. Okay. So that's not happening. As if I knew. Aptos. Aptos. Okay. Okay. So that's not changing anything. Okay. Let's go to manage default styles, see more styles, create a new style, clear formatting of selection. So we clear the formatting. And it goes back to active. So the changes you made, it'll go back to default. Okay, so what I want to change is what this is. I'm going to match selection. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to Times New Roman. I'm going to update this normal style to match the selection and wait for that to process. Okay, normal successfully updated for this document. That's Times New Roman. And there is something like that. Oh, I'm back to Times New Roman now. Okay, so now this is all Times New Roman and not Aptos. Okay. If it disappears from the box up here in the Times New Roman box, and you see in the corner by the 12, I'm going to highlight it and let it go, and it stays there. Okay. If you change it like that, it'll disappear because why? That goes empty, and that goes empty because it's not the same. So if these two don't match, and you've highlighted it, then that will disappear. If these two sizes don't match, then the size will disappear. So let's assume I'm going to change the. This is a level heading 2, level 2 heading. And so we're going to change that to Times New Roman. Okay, so if I highlight this and this, then Times New Roman stays, but the size disappears. 12 disappears. Now, if I change what I just did, now it's Aptos here, display, now they both disappear. Okay? So let's go redo that. Now that's Times New Roman again. Okay? And this is Times New Roman down here. Highlight it, and only that disappears, right? So that is what? 16. So let's increase this basic text to 16, for example. Now let's highlight this. Now they're both still there. Okay? So it's just about, do they match? If they don't match in the same like style, then things disappear. And that's really useful because you want to know what to set it to. So you're like, I need this on Aptos, so it's like, what do you want? Aptos, what size do you want? And then this one would be like, it's already, there's what you wanted. Okay? There's what you wanted. But if you highlight multiple sections or multiple stuff, well, now tell me what you want. And then you can input it and change it to whatever you want or whatever you said. That's up to you. Okay? For each click is one undo. Okay? For each click is one redo. If you want to undo it or redo it, you got to each click, you have to each click manage. So manage each click with an undo or redo if you need to. Okay, another thing, links. So there's this really cool thing called links, and you can do what you like by hyperlinking things or telling things where to go when you click on them. Whoa. So this is a really cool thing called links, and you can do what you like by hyperlinking things or telling things where to go when you click on them. Or I don't know what that means, but sure. Let's hyperlink this. Okay, let's make a link. Review. Let's go like that. Let's go like that. Let's go like that. And then let's go to make a link. So insert link, insert a link, insert a link. Yeah, use links. Use links. Okay, so that's the Google page there. Just open it up. And there you go. Some real basics, okay, about documentation. So when you work at a company like, for example, Outlier or another company, whether you do Outlier stuff or not, I don't know if you got that from me ever or not, but probably you did not. So that would be like an AI job for contract, for example, where you gotta be like, I gotta make quick decisions about how to use these resources. Well, here you go. Here's a few quick decisions you can make about using resources. Yeah, kind of keep it happening. You're like, page numbers. Okay, uh, people used to call this pagination because we were classical students learning Latin and that kind of thing. Have you ever tried the dictation bar if you used it? Okay. Page numbers. So page numbers are one of those things. They're really tough. They're easy enough, but you gotta update them in many places. So you gotta do it right the first time, and then it's really easy. Okay, but it's not easy if you're not using an app or system where it's just really finite, where you can know the limit of your tools and get it all done. But for this one, I'd be like, it's a little bit tougher probably on this one for me to figure it out because I don't have all the tools, and that means I don't have all the thought processes that are going with all those pages. I had a thought process on this one. I need the app, Bill, or whoever's making those things these days. Um, but I'd have to pay for it, which is really fair and not that expensive. So, okay, first thing you gotta be able to understand is going to go into your TOC. Okay, table of contents, that's clickable, that's what we'll read, and everything. And that means you need to update them automatically. You don't want them manual. Okay, so if you have a setting where you're just updating pages manually, then you're kind of done with your TOC. Because if it's not automatically connecting to your TOC, then you gotta figure out your pages. Okay, next thing is some people like just use the header footer option because they don't know how to do that. It's like anybody knows how to use it, you're like, well, I don't know. Is that how to use it? Is that how to use the page number? So what you want to do typically is you're going to want to insert them automatically. So you use the function for pages. You can get it to the header footer function, and it'll appear here. So if you're not in that, then it's gone. There you go. There it is. Okay. There are different ways to access one function compared to another, and you simply have got to find the most useful method of doing that. And it's not much more complicated than that sometimes. So multiple purposes is so many tools and ways to click on it, and that's really cool about Microsoft. So okay, so let's go to page numbers. You want it on that side or that side? You want it in the middle? You want it up? You want it down? You want it high? You want it low? How do you want it semi-M? So let's go over here, left side, center, right side. So left side of the footer, center of the footer, or right side of the footer. So this is header, this is footer. Header, and footer is down here, okay? It's going to stay head to foot, okay? So page top is your head, page bottom is your foot. However, I would suppose linguistically that that's not even correlated. Except it's something like, Australian cars, the bonnet and the trunk, as it were, is the bonnet and the boot. So some language systems work that way, but sometimes it's random, and you shouldn't always assume that it's true, except sometimes it's just that. So, okay, let's take a look at here. Just because it seems true doesn't have to be true. So I'll put it on that corner there, right? And that's easy enough. That's 3 people like it, right? There you go. It's 2, 3, 4, and there's 5, right? So you think that this is updated, and it's like, nah, I didn't update it automatically. So if it didn't update it automatically, just make sure you click on it, make sure it's updated, or find out the protocol, or what happens if it's updated automatically or not. Okay, there are different components, and there you go. Now you even got 5 down here. See, good for you. That kind of thing. You get everything updated. So next thing is sometimes you don't want the first page and the second page to be different or related, and you got to figure out, do you want a number on the first page or not? Do you like, for example, if it's a title page, you don't use numbers for like a lot of style guides, for example, right? So sometimes you need to get rid of one of them, and you got to figure out different tools for that. And if you're using the app, you're going to have a better deal on that. That's what I would recommend doing if you're going to start, spending an hour on pagination. I'd be like, why not consider the possibility that you could earn more in an hour by downloading the app and studying pagination? and have it as a tool that'll pay you cash the rest of your life for like $4, less than $4 a month, or whatever it is this month. It used to be like 12, and then you get the deal or another deal, whatever it is. Consider you might make more by using that hour productively. And do that really quickly. Like, don't waste time on doing stuff you don't know how to do. Okay, ideally, right? In an ideal universe. Okay, so and so for each process, you should actually just look for what you need. Okay. Do I need a number on the TOC? Let's go with different first page. Okay, cool. I selected a different first page. Now it's gone. But then I needed to start this on. I needed to start this here, right? But then I reset it, re-enter it, and then it doesn't go to 1, right? So now I got to be like, how do I get to page 1, for example? That to page 1, for example. And then it was something like, whoa, I don't need to do this right now. I'd actually be better off looking it up, just to be like, where's that thing? If I did it that way, does that make it odd? I need an odd one or an even one. No, it just makes it disappear because it isn't for that. That would be like I needed something else to happen, and I need to change which one is odd or which one is even. So yeah, okay, I don't have to do anything like that. I don't know what that is. I'm just assuming things. And so I'll just undo, right? And then get it back to my page. So Control Z. And they'll be like, then you actually have to study each function and understand how to use it because it's not intuitive, right? So right now that's not intuitive to me. I haven't used that in like probably 10 years. The app was really easy. It was more complicated 10 years ago than it is now because of the app, okay? And then it's really easy to use that because you can be like, just study it a little bit, learn the component, be like, how am I using this? And then just insert it and you got it, okay? And don't spend too much time on it other than that. So you're a document editor, you don't need to know that all the time, just need to know it when you need it. Okay. Let's look up for the different first page MS Word function. Okay, and that'll be like the first page is not the way you see it. Set your first page. You have a different first page. So I guess it's an otherly first page. So you set it to different first page, and the first page disappears, right? Because you're like, it's a different first page. So this is my first page. I want a different first page. But it's just like then define your own first page like that, because that's not changing. There's no first page anymore. Okay, so this is not your first page. That's what you just needed to know. Let's take it off. This the first page starts at the first one, and it's like my first page might start elsewhere. Okay, and then different odd and even pages. Let's go different odd and even pages. Different odd and even pages, and then. Alternating layouts for headers or footers. Okay, so you're using different layouts, and you want what? Distinct content. Okay, so there's markedness. There's a reason to use it. This, different. It's distinct. It's not the same as standard for everyone, kind of thing. It's like the obvious first to last page. Achieved in software like Word, which is an assumption, right, of the software, like Word by enabling different odd and even pages. So you create separate sections. Okay, cool. So that would be like for me, I would use that, for example, if I was using sections. I don't see the possibility of using sections. So I'm like, I need to do different things by section. Okay. And there's also like you're not using sections, therefore not on the online software. However, it's there on the online software. So let's find something that's not section related. So this is the first half. Different odd and even pages in documents, common in books, use alternating layouts. So you're just going to change up your layout a bit, and that's fine. So at that point, it's good to just keep reading up on it. Different headers or footers, for example. Maybe it's something I don't have a thought about it right now because, like for example, go look at a YouTube and figure it out, right? And then be like, what does it visibly look like? Maybe it's just with the headers look. And then if you saw the headers, you're like, yeah, that's what's going on. You do this obvious thing. Okay. But anyway, for now, I'm done with that. I'm just going to go on to the next task with you and get on with it. So close the preview. All right, let's go down to Next thing, drawings. Okay, study up on an as needed basis. Okay. Drawings. Sure, it's like a content thing, but okay. Drawings are kind of cool if you want to do something really fast. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to just be like, draw there. Let's try that. Let's try a graph. Okay, do you want a choice between YouTube today, YouTube, or more of Outlier? Okay. Well, I'm almost done, so my next task won't be YouTube, it'll be Outlier, so I gotta be like, more of YouTube or more of Outlier, and I've gotta decide, make a rational decision. More of work here, more of work there, right? More fun or more of money? Let's try more of... I'm acting like my teachers when I was a kid. More, more of fun or more of money? And some will be like, I want fun money. Someone wants more fun money. So I was just doing fun or money. What do I do, right? So I need to graph it. I need an image to think about it. Oh. Okay, so I need an image to think about it. What am I going to do? Okay, do I want more of fun money? More of fun money or more of you? There's a YouTube. Let's make that YouTube just for old resentment's sake. Let old resentments be not. Let's let old acquaintances be forgot. No, let old issues be gone. You choose more fun money or more YouTube. I'm not making money doing this, so I'll take some more fun money. All right. That was stuff I was working on. Take care, and I wish you the best. I hope that helps you learn. I'm going to do one last thing for you here, which is download this as a PDF so you can kind of get the idea about the usefulness of the linkage. Okay, so let's open that PDF. Yay, and it's free because I still have that software WPS. I gotta uninstall that. Okay. Alright, cool. Oh, cool. And Adobe gives it to me too. Okay. So, but if I try to, okay, it's free, but if I try to use the TOC, it'll cost me. So, I'll just do that. Go to 2. There's free stuff. I'm gonna take a look at drawings. There they are. Okay, super easy. And I wish you all the fun and best in the world.